Championship Sunday with the Premier Circuit Legends of Six Major 4 continues live from the Game Arena in Columbus, Ohio. Hi, everyone. My name is Quinn, better known as Colorblind, joined with Matt Man. And Matt, we are ready to solidify this tournament.
Absolutely, man. Losers bracket action. We just got to witness that amazing winners semis matchup between Omit Brooklyn and SGP. I think a lot of surprises there as Omit Brooklyn gets that 3-0. And you take a look at it, a lot of 3-0s from kind of along the day, but you look down into that losers bracket, and that is where we find ourselves. Destro Gaming versus Elation. This is a matchup that we did get to witness yesterday in the winners bracket. Got the chance to cast that. Destro Gaming came up with the 3-0 win. Elation going to be looking to bounce back from that and continue this losers campaign.
Yeah, man, and it feels like these are two teams. I mean, we are very familiar with them within the Premier Circuit specifically. We have seen them compete. We have seen them dominate in many aspects. So to see them in the losers bracket and see that, hey, after these next 5 maps, one of these teams is definitely going home. It's just a very interesting concept this early in, it feels like.
No, absolutely. And I mean, I think when you look at these kind of 6 teams that we have here finalized for this Championship Sunday, it's a lot of teams that everyone expected to be here. But now that you're getting down to the nitty-gritties and we're going to start cutting some of these teams out of this tournament, it is going to get very, kind of down to the wire. Do have word from production as well. You know we love it, Quinn. It's our favorite part of the Premier Circuit land. It is intro team videos. Let's go ahead and get acquainted with both of these teams.
Speed. I am speed. Oh yeah, lightning's ready.
I'm American made, but like Chevrolet. My mama taught me wrong from right. I was born. No one told you life was gonna be this way.
I mean, that's absolutely incredible. That's absolutely incredible. Destro Gaming and Elation. Shout out Brady Beeser for the production and the Premier Circuit getting all this set up for you guys, giving you just a real good Championship Sunday feel. Looking at the rosters, you obviously got to see a little bit of them there. But Dello, Adam Savage, Stu, and Stewie taking on Rep, Kex, Yin, and Cray. Quinn, you mentioned these are 2 teams we have been very accustomed with, very familiar with. Obviously, personal relations with some of these players myself. Making this prediction here off of this map set is going to be absolutely impossible.
I mean, it comes down to 2 things, speed or family. That is the question at the end of the day. After those intro videos and echoing your shout out to the production staff, absolutely brilliant stuff. Let's not stall, though. Let's kick it into our maps. 6-star hardpoint, invasion, search and destroy, high rise will be in the middle. If we need them, Rio hardpoint, 6-star search and destroy await us in the wings. And between these 2 teams, I mean, we've briefly mentioned it again, but these are very formidable teams. Only one of them is going to be able to extend past this point. Destro coming off of a 3-0 loss to Speedy White Men. Elation just got taken down by Omit as well, 3-1. You mentioned that these 2 teams did face each other, though, yesterday. Talk to me a little bit about that, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, competitive series back and forth. I mean, a lot of chances for Elation to be able to take that series away, and it just doesn't go in their favor as Destro Gaming just able to find the 3-0. I think a little untelling just seeing that score line. The map's a bit closer than kind of represented, but I gotta tell you, the hardpoint picks with 6-star and Rio, these young guns from both the teams, you know they want to get active, you know they want to headbutt, chow out, and see whose gunny can win the day, and that's exactly what we're getting on this quick 6-star as we get it kicked off here, Quinn. Losers bracket action.
Championship Sunday. One of these teams goes home. The other stays alive to potentially claim 3.5 grand. P1 already online. And as you mentioned, it's going to be a very, very mixy map. Don't want to bounce those stuns off the wall, Cray. Got to be very careful with that as both of these teams ignite into the field. And Elation looking like they're going to come away with the first couple of kills.
Yeah, it's that initial break off from Elation that will be good. Stu tries to work this outside, but Quinn, for the moment, Elation going to be able to garner some of this time. Still 30 seconds left, but we all know, looking to that P2 side of the map, big gunfight starting to occur here. Kex and Adam Savage, as it's going to be 2 for Adam Savage. Make it the 3rd as he starts to clean house. Finally shut down by Rep, but the damage done for Destro.
So much of this for Destro is going to run through Adam Savage. This man is an absolute gunny, and you do not want to be testing his barrel by any stretch of the imagination. Still, though, P2 definitely in the minds of all of these players. Elation have a couple more players flooded over towards that side, but Destro just a hop and a skip away over there. And guess who? It's going to be Adam Savage over towards that side of the map with the first opportunity to really make the hit on in. It's going to send some stray shots in, but not going to connect for the time.
And Destro Gaming will hold this initial, but Kex, and as well as the rest of the players from Elation with those close spawns, should be able to re-break in quite efficiently here. Yin as well with the two-piece around the outside. Craig cleans up the third, and exactly as we called, Elation right back into the hill.
Elation's gonna be in the hill, but Delo, he wants and smells blood. Rounding the corner, dropping down, collecting his first, but not gonna be expecting Rep in the hill. And you do not want to give Rep any wiggle room whatsoever. This man is a chirper. And when he starts getting in your ear, it's gonna get very, very hard on the mental. Still holding on to the hill kitten himself, soaking up the time.
And there's Yin once again, 7-1 start for him on the 4 streak, looking for more. Kex with the team shots to be able to help there will clean up the scrap for Elation. And you gotta think right now with this lead that Elation has garnered off the first 2 hills, pushing the issue here now to this P3. But with Destro Gaming, with these rotations, with these early back spawns, Quinn now set up to get themselves right back in it.
Stewie fly forward, trying to extend that presence over towards this P3 side. Kex gonna be the first line of offense on in, guns the first, and then just absolutely puts down the second for Elation. And just like that, the spawns have been flipped, everything flipped on its head. Destro still trying to contend into this hill, 35 seconds left on the board, and Stewie will quickly flip it right back. Destro on for the time.
Yeah, Destro, 3 stacked on this hill right now, trying to cover all of these angles as the nades and stuns fly right back in. But it's the time for Destro that's good. Contested now by Kex, but the only one here will get traded out quickly. Destro Gaming, the P3, made good on those early rotations. And that scrap time is going to be big for them as well. Heading into this P4, we talk about it all the time with this map as well, Quinn. 6-star, only 4 points though. Quick rotations, quick sets of hills, and it's going to be mixy already. Almost a tied game through 3.
Yeah, that P4 to P1 rotation, it becomes a very big money hill, so both of these teams are going to want this hill. They are going to want as much time on it as possible, as it really does set you up for success into that second set of rotation. So far, so good for Destro, but Cray is going to continue to press the action on in. Destro now hitting through main, and Cray is just going to shut it down at the seams.
I mean, 1, 2, 3, a little 3-piece dinner, looking for the soda as well. Gonna find it onto Adam, finds the biscuit with Delo, and it's a clean wipe for Elation. Cray absolutely shooting rival 9 beams, and it is Elation with this P4 that has absolutely started to dominate in the latter half of this first rotation. But Destro Gaming, a lot of scrap time here to still be earned. It was mixy, it was contested, it wasn't necessarily clean at all times for Elation, so it will still be Quinn knotted up right at about 79 to 79 apiece.
Look at Stu up the top of the map there, has the opportunity to really catch a couple of these Elation players off guard, but they're going to read straight through it. It's going to be Rep to shut that down, and now we turn our attention once again. The second set of rotations online. Delo's really the only player who's going to be able to hold things down, but it doesn't particularly matter when he gets that first kill on the board, buys his teammates the opportunity to make the way on into the hill. Now Elation have to make the break in here and now. Destro with the lead.
And now it's be from the contest, and Ref's gonna have a good position from this mid-stairs area, trying to do a little bit of damage. It's 2 for 1, 1 for 1 trades all over the map. Adam and Stewie gonna come up for 2, but Yin right there for the final trade. It's gonna be a big 1v1 as the reinforcements start to reaccrue for both of these teams. Delo slides on in, and it's just none of these hills able to be held cleanly, and it's something we touched on before, Quinn. We knew that both of these teams were gonna wanna fly out, chow out, and see whose gunny was winning the day, and right now, evenly matched between both teams.
Expert way there for Destro to parlay those 2 hills, but now they have to make the left foot, right foot express over towards P2. Elation already has the time in their back pocket. They just got to get the kills to justify checkerboard in the feed to kick us off. Still 3 players in the hill for Elation. They also have those spawns, but the wraparound play from Destro, it's starting to develop. You have Adam Savage, who might be able to catch a couple off guard, but no, Cray's going to read it through and through. Destro still trying to attack on in for the time, but Elation is getting all the kills that they need to justify.
I mean, Elation just holding down this P2, as you said, finding all of the kills they need. The rebreak coming in from Destro, but let's hop in with Elation as they try to hold down this P2.
in a row.
Go on.
For sure.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna fight this old. No water. I'm gonna play like the old is late.
Sunset. Go back, Stewie dead. No, one more white, side.
Hitting through the old.
No, in the back.
Yo, one guy
Weak in the back.
I got one. I'm going mid here.
Okay.
RCP1, Stewie.
Dead. One time, no trophy. Hit through white.
Yo,
I'm stunned. Trying to need. I don't see him back right.
Yo, on the top, on the half, Adam.
I'm streaking. Don't die. He's in white. Nice. Let's do all the three. They're gonna fly you, Mason. They're gonna fly. Nice. They're gonna be back out. From white. Bar. He's bar behind bar.
Below.
Two. I think he's in A long already. A long, he's new.
On a half wall.
He jumped out, bro. One of them open nice. Well, Adam's new already.
I'm a half wall still.
In you. One shot, nice. There's gonna be one more on you.
I don't think they're white.
He's on my A long. He's stunned.
On set.
Dead. I got one away from me.
Yo, behind me, office, bro.
Top hold.
Office and long.
I gotta get top hold. Did you go office or no?
And it just seems right there, the comms really good out of Elation, but Quinn, tell me what you're kind of seeing there as they have struggled lately on the hill.
Yeah, echoing that, I mean, they have really collective comms. They're making those calls as to where these players are coming in from, but they just can't seem to pick up those ones, those 1v1s, those 1v2s even, are just not falling their way, and instead, Destro is just piecing them apart in terms of the gun game, and they're also getting all this time left on the board.
And Elation now finding themselves surely on the back foot. Destro Gaming now almost over that 180-point mark. Still damage to be done here as well on this hill with 20 seconds left. Yin just trying to find an angle, just trying to find any information on any of these players, but just tucked away. But finally going to be able to come through, finds the two-piece, but Adam Savage right back himself with a big two, but Elation, some much-needed scrap. You stop the bleeding for a second, and now you try to hit that quick rotation over, that hop, jump, skip right over to that P1.
This is their opportunity to completely turn the tables. I mean, this is what Destro did. They broke into this P4 hill in the very last seconds on the first set of rotations, and then they completely took it into P2 and took this game and completely ran away with it. Now Elation in that driver's seat once again. They have that P1 locked down. For Destro, it's going to be very hard to attack on, and they've got to get a couple of key kills to set this thing apart. But continuously in that feed, all you see is pink on blue.
And just back and forth we go here on 6-star. Elation tries to fight their way back, but still 30 seconds left to do with on this hill, and you're continuing to have 1-for-1 trades. Rep able to find 2 in the feed, but immediately traded back from 2 by Destro, and it is just Rep right now with the sub doing absolute damage as it is Elation that finally finds the kills, gets into this hill, and now for the moment, Quinn, things slow down on what seems like a map that has just been going crazy that every single turn right into this P2.
Oh, Destro, they had the rotation to go, but they just get completely wiped off of the hill. How the turns have tabled here. Destro trying to find their way in. Let's go with the listen in. Hear those comms.
Missing one. Valley vent. I have blue vent. Last guy should have all the water.
He's in the vent.
Water, watch out.
I'm on vent. I'm gonna die.
Front. Two front.
I'm talking.
Stay. Have your order.
Watch out next to one. Stay alive, Adam. Stay alive in the vent.
I'm trying to. You want one open.
That's so lit, bro.
He's absolute. One time.
He's in cage. Drop table.
Nice. They're all gonna be front. Trust me.
Kitty, more front. Rep. Right side.
3. All there.
Get through. Whoever's going, get through.
I got there.
I have mid.
Watch long.
Wood, watch out, run.
Bro. Wait, where's your
fucking front open? He was front open. Rep on new. He's open now, guys. Spawn out. He's here left. They're gonna get through right.
Dead blue. I'm absolutely. Bar. One top bar. He's the back and Crane's on time. With him.
A little bit of urgency on the side of Destro Gaming. If you heard in the background, you might have heard Rep screaming dead. So now, Elation starting to feel themselves ever so slightly as that second hill comes online, and they're right on it.
I mean, it's the tale of two halves for both of these teams. Elation now putting Destro Gaming in the exact same position that they were once in just a few hills ago. Now, only 39 seconds left on the hill, only 30 seconds needed for the win here for Elation. The break from Destro tries to fly through, but Yin able to find one to trade the 3-for-1 trade. Adam Savage alone behind the bar, and it is a long shift and a long night. Elation now only 15 seconds away from the win as Destro Gaming. One last hit at this hill. They have to find their way in, and it has to be now.
Destro has to go. They have to get into this hill. Stewie cannot buy his time. He has to go. Elation is going to completely chop them down every step of the way, but time ticking away. I'm not sure if Elation can actually win it here with the contestant on the board. No, it's going to come down to P4, but they've already got the rotation, Matt.
They're already here, but Stewie, a huge kill onto Kexan, gets himself onto this hill for Destro Gaming. They find another kill across map onto Rep, so now the 3 fees in the feed, and Destro Gaming fully in the place to win it, but Crane cracks, fight right back in. It's a 3-piece for Elation. One more on the hill. They fly. They take it. 246 and counting. Can anyone from Destro get there? I think not. 250 to 221 and an absolute barn burner of a map 1.
Wow, I mean, Elation, they have put Destro on notice, Matt. This is not the same Elation that Destro might have faced yesterday. It is a team that has a lot of resilience, being down the way that they were, and coming back into the mix of that. And you heard, again, in those Destro comms, Rep's voice somehow found his way into that with his screams. So you can start to feel it for the side of Elation still very early on in the series. But that momentum has been created.
No, absolutely. And I mean, you talk about that series yesterday with Elation going down to a 3-0 loss to Destro Gaming, getting that first hardpoint win, getting that motivation and kind of getting that mental block that you might have against another team out of the way immediately, Quinn. For the mentals of Elation, you got to talk to me heading into this S&D.
Yeah, I mean, the mentals have to be so good, but with a team like Elation, again, this is a very firecrackery team. You have to make sure that you keep your wits about you. Obviously, again, you're feeling great after that comeback, but you have to keep that underdog mentality. You have to keep that chip on your shoulder as we head into the Invasion S&D if you want to keep that momentum moving.
No, absolutely. And you kind of talk about that firecracker team, and we talked to Rep, or at least Narsky and Khan did, in the last series where they got to kind of get a little insight to him, where he kind of said that Kex being the addition to this roster has really been kind of the IGL and leader that they need. You see Yin there, 31 and 17, incredible KD, but Kex, 34 and 31. It might not look very pretty, right? But he's always willing to throw his body, always willing to be able to make that first initial play, find a pick, give up his life so his team can be able to take the hill. And time again, Kex, I think, an undersung hero of that map for the side of Elation, because it takes a player like that sometimes, Quinn, who's just never afraid to die, right? They're not caring about the KD. They don't want to care about the stats. They know that they're going to get that first initial kill, and they're going to allow their teammates to play off of them and play off of those trades. And it's something that I think Elation played beautifully there in that first hardpoint map.
Yeah, it's that selflessness that you see out of Kex, and you saw it. I mean, down the stretch there in that P3 specifically, Kex was just laying his body out over towards that bar side, and it was allowing Cray to just completely pick them apart, but they were all distracted by Kex, who was equally picking them apart. So it's very, very good to see a player who comes in like that, doesn't care about the KD, but still puts up those kills. It's a magnificent sight to see, and again, Elation just seemingly firing on all cylinders down the stretch of that map. Want to make sure, though, that they don't start off as slow as they did before, because obviously certain instances of starting off slow are able to be overcame, as we saw there, but sometimes you gotta have a little bit of a quicker start as we slow things down on the Invasion S&D. If Elation can keep their foot on the gas pedal, things will be very, very hard for Destro.
No, and I love that you talked about that for Destro as well. You know, we've kind of touched a lot on the Elation side, but for Destro, I mean, you looked amazing at the start of that map, and particularly in the mid part of the map, right? You said down the stretch is where Elation kind of found their footing, started to take over, but at one point, I mean, Destro Gaming with almost a 60, 70 point lead, looked fully in control of that hardpoint game. So for them heading into this slowdown, I think you take some of the good things from that map, you try to internalize that, head into the slowdown, as you said, and with Invasion, something that we don't talk about as well, those AR players for Destro Gaming are going to be absolutely pivotal for them to be able to find success on this map.
Oh yeah, especially with all the long range angles that you have to play. And the thing that I always love to see though is when you get an SMG that just flies, especially on the defensive side. I've seen some very tricky stuff happen where you just send an SMG player down mid, get behind the attacking group and just completely bring it down. So there's a lot of different things that you can do on Invasion. Obviously with this being the MW3 send-off, there's a lot of familiarity with this map and how it traditionally plays out. The question is any team going to maybe break tradition and find some crafty ways to get things up on one another? Let's not stall. Invasion S&D and Elation, bomb in their court. What do they got?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is September 1st, and it is still Modern Warfare 3 LAN action for you here. S&D up. And Quinn, I'll be interested to see, we've seen a lot of typical straight B hits, but you talk about the switch up. Where do you think it comes into play where you maybe could see a little bit of an A hit?
I mean, when B doesn't work, that's really where we've seen it happen. But it is also one of those instances where you might see a team come out early and just throw an A hit at the wall, see what sticks. Because again, you want to break those customs. You want to keep people on their toes. That being said, Elation, first kill on the board. Stewie will respond.
And look at where that bomb wants to rotate its way on over to. They find that early pick over towards the B side. Now on to A, and Stewie none the wiser to push this A street. You find another one towards the mid area. Now all of a sudden you flip the map on Destro Gaming. Bomb planted over towards the A site. You're in a 2v3. Easy kills in the backside, and I'm sure that's not the back shots he was hoping for.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, that is not necessarily what you want. The execution coming in, if anything. Elation is going to find the round there. And my goodness, back shots and all, it just felt like Destro was getting the ride that round.
No, absolutely. And Kex, you know, we talked about him in that hard point and in the S&D. That's been particularly where I've seen him find a lot of success, Quinn. Yesterday, 14-5. Now coming out onto here, it's going to be exciting to see what he can do, especially on the same map.
Now Destro on the attacker side. What do they got? Maybe an A hit? You never know. Let's see how it develops. Bomb in their court. Again, a lot of presence over towards that B side. That's just typically what you do see, and Elation is going to funnel players over towards that side of the map as well. A very aggressive approach. You don't have anybody really lurking towards the backside. Instead, push up towards the car, and maybe that's not the play to make. As Stu's going to find the first onto Cray, and that just ignites Destro to make the hit on in, and Kex with the cutoff is not going to be able to find value.
Yeah, and they get the player off of the site as well, so now 2v4 situation, bomb should be easily planted, trophies in place. I mean, this is going to be a difficult situation for anyone here, but Yin and Kex, two players I'd absolutely love to have alive in the 2v4, but still now with that bomb planted and the pressure applied, Destro Gaming, this is their round to lose.
Now coming in from the backside here, a little minus action, Yin is going to find the first. Does this give the opening that Elation needs? Hold on. Now the back shot's going the way of Destro, and this is really, really good out of Yin. Has completely opened this up. Adam Savage, you still have to deal with him over towards that tractor side. They anticipate Stu on the floor. No, they do not. Destro is able to avoid the disaster, and here we go. Matt, we have a game.
Yeah, Destro Gaming, I mean, it was shaky. Bend don't break, but I mean, hey, you find the 2 kills there as they slide on in. Like you said, you avoid absolute disaster. You talk about the play from Yin and Kex, though. I love how Yin just getting aggressive there, beautiful beams to back Ice Cream, and then just kind of throwing himself up into that broken area. I mean, Elation almost making something out of an impossible situation, but nonetheless, the scoreboard reading 1 apiece here. But you got to think right now, with that first win from Elation, feeling good right now in this S&D, and you can tell in the way of this aggressive play.
Yeah, it's very uncustomary. Typically, you see the defensive rounds be traded, but no. They're going to mirror each other out for both attacker side rounds, and now the question is, who's going to separate in the early stretch of this? The first defensive round on the board. Bomb in the court of Elation, but Destro has the opportunity to do that as Elation flirting over towards that B side of the map. Still, very spread approach here from Destro. He's going to get active. Cray might spot out. No.
Just trying to find a kill, but nothing going for him so far. This is just ring around the rosy. Dello finally gonna chow out, finds the first blood. This bomb is making its way quickly onto the B site. Stu, though, playing a nice little creddy angle. Are they gonna be able to find the read onto him? Oh, he's gonna be shooting it. Toes, we're seeing it. Oh, no! Little windy on Invasion. The dog's not quite big enough to find the kill. So Kex gets away with his life. Lucky to have the size 7 shoe there.
My goodness, that is something. Destro is definitely going to want to get those shoes measured a little bit bigger next time. But nonetheless, 26 seconds left here for Elation to try and fend off Destro's retake. Destro, slow and steady. First kill on the board, though. Dello might open things up. Kex, you still have to deal with him over towards this heady side of the map. Yin with one, Kex with the other. And that might just about do it. Elation are going to hold.
It's just the Yin and Kex duo right now for Elation, doing everything right here in these 2v4, 2v3 situations. Yin and Kex get it done again. Something interesting to point out as well, Quinn, we talk a lot about with Invasion how favorable that defensive side can be. But all of a sudden, you got 3 offensive rounds in a row. And it feels like the first team that can really just lock down a defense and be a little bit more set in stone might be able to find an advantage here in this round.
Yeah, and again, this is very uncustomary, but as well, we do typically see teams kind of just mirror each other out on Invasion SD. It's a very interesting map for that kind of concept that we see. Being said, Destro not looking to change things up, still making the approach over towards that B side, and again, Elation just meeting it with so much aggression. Dello is maybe gonna find the wraparound. No, Cray will find the first, but it's going to be Destro avoiding the disaster, finding the first 2 kills, to give themselves that player advantage.
Look
and now,
at who it is,
the question
though.
is, what are they gonna do?
Look at who it is, though. Kex and Yin, once again, another 2v3 situation, and Kex is on the chase. He seems to know that one of these players is here. He's gonna find a drop right onto one, maybe the second one. He's gonna maybe get the shots in, hit markers only, but now that's gonna allow Yin in the chaos to slide right up through Dark, and these two in tandem playing so well together. Batman and Superman, but now 1v1, Stewie not gonna be able to win it, and it's Kex and Yin once again, the Elation duo getting it done in another 2-man odd out situation. And Quinn, how many times are these two going to be able to get it done?
I mean, with Kex leading the charge there in terms of the comms as that IGL, it just feels like they are unstoppable. Again, this is such a key addition to this roster, and it is paying absolute dividends to have a player, again, that can just completely take over a game, but also give you those comms is just a ridiculous life hack.
I mean, they're just always together, always seemingly knowing what the other one is thinking. And you talked about it, Yin being kind of that more crazy out slayer, while Kex just being more calm, collected in the comms, that IGL. This team with that form of rep as well just seems to have such a good glue between them. Destro Gaming, we know that this is still a team that you cannot count out at any certain point of the map or series. Quinn, things slowing down a little bit here on Invasion. Destro Gaming a little bit more passive on this defensive setup.
Yeah, now down around, you do not want to mess things up. You're not trading out anymore. It starts to get a little bit concerning if you are Destro, obviously. On the defensive side now, you feel like you really just need to find this round. Elation will gladly just let the tempo be set by Destro because they want to take advantage of the first mistake being made. Cray is going to get active as well as Kex, and now that A-bomb site completely opening itself up unless Dello can be a one-man band waiting for his team to rotate on in, and it's going to be time to perfection. Stewie, and Dello are going to keep things alive, but Rep still alive in the hill. 1v1 versus Stewie. Her shots being sent through. He's going to connect onto them. 66 HP onto Stewie. Ring around the rosy. Reduces him to ashes. And Rep has the ice. And you just know he is talking all that
No, Rep is letting them know. I'm surprised we can't hear it through the production mics at the venue right now. We know this kid is letting them have it. Rep having his moment there in the 1v1, and it's seemingly everyone from Elation having those breakout moments. And right now, as you love to say, firing on absolutely all cylinders.
Yeah, no, there's no way Elation is going to fall off the wagon unless Destro can make some heroics happen. It just feels like the mental game is completely being won by Elation, and now they have them right where they want them, up by 3. And just getting those kills in the early set as well. Yin with the first pick over towards that A-bomb site, which is where Destro is still going to try and press the issue, still trying to take it in. Nade check comes through. It's going to blow up a car, but it's going to lead to Dello's death as well. 2v4 as Destro is just in shambles.
And Cray finds another one off screen, so it's just going to be absolute detrimental situation here now for Destro Gaming. They drop all once again, and Elation is just running wild on Invasion. I mean, Quinn, you touched on it just a little bit. Talk about keeping the foot on the gas pedal. It is seemingly on the floor right now.
Yeah, no, they are going 200 straight down the highway, and there is no stopping that. If Destro wants to stop them, it's going to have to be a head-on collision. You don't usually make yourself out of that, so Destro, just a very, very tough spot that they find themselves in, already down a map in the series as well. And it's, again, just the mental game that Elation feels like they've been winning since the third set of rotations on that hardpoint map. Kex just adding insult to injury with the shot straight down mid, connects on Stu. Now Stewie watches as his teammate has fallen. Kex from above as well. Matt, this might be just about over.
Oh, and he gets the kill as well, up to 10-3 right now on this Invasion. S&D finds another kill there, finally traded out by Dello, but that bomb is planted. It is a 1v2 situation, and this is for the map. Easy reads onto Dark. You have the information, and now Yin and Rep ready to hold it down. If that had landed, I would have lost my mind, Quinn.
Oh, yeah, no. At that point, you just Destro, unplug the controllers and go. Dello trying to keep the hopes alive. Just feels like it's being snuffed out every step of the way, though. Over towards that side of the map. I mean, Kex, you just cannot shoot him. Elation is feeling so good after a 6-1 victory on Invasion S&D.
And I mean, you talk about it from that first hardpoint map. Once Elation found their footing, started to make that comeback happen. I mean, the foot on the gas pedal, absolute momentum, wind in the sails, however you like to call it. Elation up 2-0 and feeling good. Obviously, scoreboard still messed up this long into Modern Warfare 3, but Yin was 9-3, and we did see as well Kex with the over 10 kills. The duo between Kex and Yin there on that S&D was absolutely everything.
Yeah, you just cannot stop them. It feels like, yeah, you can go up maybe 2v4, but oh shit, you have Kex and Yin to deal with. Game over. You know, Destro just looking like they really don't have a response for Elation. And again, this is the team that started off very, very hot on that first map, and it just feels like everything has fallen apart at the seams since, Matt.
Yeah, it really seems like when Elation is able to force those chaotic gunfights where it's just 4v4, chows into hills, 2v2 scenarios where they're playing as a team, you head into a high-rise control, which we know the unpredictability that comes with that map, how lost players can get, especially when you have Kex and Yin playing as well as they are. This is just not looking like the great situation that Destro Gaming was hoping to. Couldn't be how they drew it up on the whiteboard.
No, not at all. Not at all. That is putting it very, very lightly. But still, it is not over until it is over. Destro still potentially have 3 maps in the wings. But it's going to be very, very tough to fight their way through, especially with the mental fortitude just completely being thrashed by Elation. And again, this is a very, very poppy team. And on LAN, it's not the team that you really want to be going up against and seeing over the other side of your monitor.
No, and, you know, we haven't touched on it a lot because of how just insane the series has been so far. But, I mean, this is losers bracket time. We are in the losers quarters finals. The winner is going to secure that spot in the winner's semis, just 1 game away from securing a top 3 finish at this LAN. Loser goes home. So, Destro Gaming, this is your tournament hopes. You have got to get the reverse sweep started right now on this high-rise control. And you talk about those slow starts. Obviously, Elation there, kicking things off early with Invasion, forcing the issue very quickly on a high-rise control. If you let Elation start to build up that motivation, if you start to let them build up that momentum, you are going to be down and out before the map even starts.
Yeah, no, you have to just have the memory of a pigeon and the resilience of a tiger in this instance if you are Destro. There's just absolutely nothing that you can do if you keep your mental stuck on that Invasion search and destroy. And even the 6-star hardpoint, which feels like it's in the rearview mirror at this point, you can still thinking about that. They need to hit the full reset at this point. And as you mentioned, again, you do not want to go home, let alone go home 3-0 in the losers finals, in the losers quarters. So it's just not the spot that Destro wants to find themselves in. But as Big Time Rush once said, when your back is against the wall, you just got to give it your all.
Oh. All right, no. So we're gonna rock in though. Destro Gaming Elation, give me a pick right now. Give me a pick. Look, man, I'm trying to watch Big Time Rush right now. Now you got me wanting to like. Look, I'm ready for the beta. I'm ready. Nah, I'm just kidding, guys. Look, Destro Gaming Elation, give me a pick right now. Is Destro Gaming going to be able to bring this at least to a map 4 here?
Man, if this was online, I feel like this would be so much more manageable for Destro. But again, when you have a team like Elation that is just such a firecracker in terms of the mental, and you are sitting across from that team, and that team is absolutely thrashing you every step of the way, Elation has way too much momentum at this point, and Destro, it just feels like they are done and out. That being said, again, Destro was the team that won before, but it just feels like it's been a complete role reversal. Matt, give me Elation.
I like the pick out of you there. Look, you brought in Big Time Rush, and I'm gonna go with another quote from them right here, okay? Don't look back, don't hesitate, okay? Look, Destro Gaming, they're gonna pull this one off. We're gonna at least see that Rio hardpoint, but look, before we get there, we're gonna have to toss it to a quick break. 2-0 up for Elation. When we come back, do or die time for Destro Gaming's tournament hopes on High-Rise Control. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, good sir.
I actually like the Batman intro. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. I don't think we had the comms there, but it's perfectly fine. I mean, you're going to have those mishaps every so often, Matt.
Hey, look, man, we're getting thrown right back into the action as well as these teams. Short break, quick action, Elation versus Destro Gaming. Losers quarters finals, we talked about it, Quinn. All of your tournament hopes lie on this one map for Destro Gaming. It's got to be perfect from here on out.
And again, for Destro, it's just about just forgetting everything that has happened in this series and keeping that momentum, or regaining that momentum, if you will. On the defensive side, obviously the more favorable side here, so they have the opportunity to maybe just regain and use this round as that opportunity to find themselves back in the mix of this map.
Yeah, no, I mean, already early action going down from both of these teams. 3 lives apiece already dropping right off of this, as it's going to be 2 kills that come through for the Stu duo. But Rep immediately right back there on those power position of top propane to get a couple of trades in. So far, no one really able to get their toes into this point. Elation, you gotta force the issue early. We talk about I-Rise, Spawn Trap, and map control, the name of the game right now in Destro Gaming, playing it to perfection.
It is so good out of Destro, and it's so good to see them awake at the controller, because it feels like those last 2 maps have been very, very tough goings for Elation. I mean, it's just about getting out of their own spawn at this point, and this is not the start that you want by any stretch of the imagination. It just feels like they've come out completely flat on this attacker side round, haven't even been able to touch for the time, and Destro just continues to lay down the pain.
Laying down something right now. Destro Gaming not allowing Elation out of their spawn. Finally, Yin gets 1 back, but it is all for naught. 3 seconds left. There is no way. Well, hold on a second. We got a lone player over here. Now a couple of reinforcements start to make their way towards the A site, but there's the explosion, the propane tank, and now Cray all on his lonesome, taken out. 1 second, and that will be the round. Destro Gaming. Perfection there in round 1.
Putting the gaming in Destro Gaming there. That is what we need to see out of Destro. They want to bring us to a map 4, let alone a map 5. Keep their tournament hopes alive. Really, really good defensive round. Now the question becomes, what do they have on the attacker side? Or Matt, is this going to be just a complete defensive fest?
I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, Destro Gaming, as for the moment, I mean, defense right there, it wins championships. But this map in particularly with control, it just gets so mixy. We've already seen today between Omit and SGP how the offense can be taken on this map. I'm expecting Elation to come out here to at least hold this defense down, but Destro Gaming can get this opening break on out. Already a couple of 1-for-1 trades, trying to see them force this issue early.
Elation, such aggressive positioning here, specifically out of Yin. You have Adam Savage getting that high ground, and he's looking to turn Elation into a bunch of Anakin Skywalkers here and completely chop them down at the legs. Yin, though, up in the high ground, has the opportunity to do the exact same thing in a different font. Yin with the turn and burn as well. He's finally going to drop down, but hold on. Destro now on for the time. They've gained a little bit of map control. Only 2 players over towards that B side, though.
Yeah, and now you're going to have these two players as well on 4 and 2 start to make their way up to the backside of your spawn, so you're only going to really have 2 players able to do anything with this B site. Now starting to converge on their position, but Yin taken out quickly. There is Rep right back into the hill, able to find one and the second. Renetti, still the best gun in the game to this day.
Renetti Reciprocity on the main stage here today, folks. You want to watch this man fry when he gets it going. Elation now on the defensive side have gotten that one tick, just left at one tick for Destro here. Destro very quick to attack their way back onto this B hill, soaking up that time once again. Not enough in terms of the player personnel to justify that positioning, so extending instead into the spawns, trying to create a little bit of a wraparound.
Yeah, and Adam Savage, he was able to sneak his way off the hill into the spawn, but now with all these players pushed so far out for Elation, just kind of rendered useless until he gets himself back up into the play. Now Yin, can he find this advantage onto him? But it's going to be the double chow there, takes him out. Still onto the B site is Destro Gaming. They just refuse to relinquish this hold, finally getting these players off of the hill, and it's Rep once again, another 2-piece in the feed. You talk about the defense fest. Well, goodness, Elation now starting to hold a lock here on this hill. Adam Savage, though, does still have maybe a position to get back into this when you get yourself onto the A site. Now information overload onto the B site. Now Destro Gaming, potentially a chance to extend this.
Quick to chop them down over towards B, but that A site is going. It might be gone if Elation can't get on in time. Dello with the first kill as well. Dello continuing to cement with another on the board. Rep firing back, though, will eventually chop him down. That's 2 ticks on the board for the side of this A site. So regardless, though, whatever way you chop this, Destro has the control in terms of the ticks. They're not going to get the round. It's going to go the way of Elation, but you can take a W in that in of itself if you're Destro.
Yeah, and normally when you get 3 ticks on a offensive round on high rise, you know, you're not feeling so great, but I mean, like you said, they get the tick advantage off of that almost perfect defensive performance. Now back on the favorable side, at least for them. And gonna be able to see what they can do here. This has been a lot tighter of a map than I would say, at least coming back from the S&D. You talked about Destro Gaming at least being a little bit more awake at the controller. Maybe those tournament hopes, that pressure on the shoulders could be the wake-up call for this team.
Yeah, and it has to be in this stage, and it looks like it very much is to this point. Still very, very tall hill to climb past this point, even if you do take this map, but it's a very good start. Elation, though, now firing back on this attacker side, have the opportunity to really put themselves in that driver's seat. Obviously, going to have to start with a couple of ticks on the board, but that's at least progress. We did not see that on their first attacker side round. Finally got a player over towards that A side, but it's going to be taken down by the propane tanks. My goodness, I cannot wait to send high rise away.
Now, everyone meeting the grave from the propane tank, who has certainly earned himself a cruise missile at this point. Now on to the B side.
That's crazy.
And we're going to have to see if Elation can at least get a tick in. It looks like that first tick of progress at the B site will be good. So Destro Gaming slowing things down a little bit now, starting to move their way up the map. But second tick of progress starting to be worked on for Elation here. This has been a good round for them so far. But kills now starting to come through for Destro.
Very good on Dello to shut that down. Cannot let that second tick of progress go away for free. Stu as well picking up the pace. Finally does get chopped down. Kex with this high ground is trying to create a little bit of space for his teammates to operate with, but they're just getting cut down every step of the way out of their spawns. Now trying to ignite his way onto the field, into the site we go. Dello trying to be the one-man band to shut it down, but no, it's not going to work. And Yin and Kex, the duo that we have talked about time and time again, are onto this B hill, soaking up that time, almost about to get it in the pocket as well. Stewie, the last vestige, is going to get chopped down. An extra minute on the board presents itself for Elation as they try and take on to A.
Yeah, and not only talking about the ticks, I mean, this is potential now with these kills starting to come through, and with the map control you have, you could be able to steal this round away. It's been almost perfect for them off the break. Rep and Craig continuing to hit shots. Team shots from Rep going to be able to help get that kill as Adam Savage now tries to slide around, but Dello, big 2-piece for him in the feed, shuts this Elation push down, at least for the moment.
20 left on the clock, 18-13. Elation favored in terms of the lives here. Trying to make that hit into this A point, but it is so very difficult with that open space to do so. And as such, we come to a little bit of a crawl. Cray with that first kill, though, might open things up. Trying to get active is Adam Savage, and he off cam is going to get the beat down to go. Destro is going to have control continuously into this hill, and it's Kex, the first line of offense on in, waiting for his teammates to regroup.
Kex gets that first kill, and now with Rep on the second, opens at least up this map. And Quinn, something we haven't looked at as well, this life advantage, 14 playing 9 right now. There's still 45 seconds left. If Destro Gaming gets into trade battles that they cannot afford, this could start to turn on the head, but it's 3 straight kills, 4 straight kills now for Destro Gaming, 3 for Dello himself, and now you push all of these Elation players back into their spawn, 30 seconds left to cross the entirety of the map. Rep, though, still has snuck his way into this back position. The Shark himself sneaking up. Can he find a kill? Absolutely. The first one, 3 dead in the feed. Opens up this hill. Stu, now the last one alive here for Destro Gaming. No respawns remaining. 16.1 on the clock. You have all these players just lined up into your sights. And that might be the round for the side of Elation.
Rep putting them down where they walk, sending him 6 feet under. He wants every kill. Stu will chop 1, will chop 2 with the crews, but it's a last-ditch effort. Desperate times, they call for desperate measures, but when you have Rep in your spawn, there's just nothing you can do, and Adam Savage is going to accept his fate. Elation around on the board on the attacker side, setting themselves up, looking real pretty on the defense now.
Rep might have been quiet, at least in the kill feed. I'm certainly not in the venue for their first 2 maps, but this control absolutely in takeover mode. 20-9 right now, Quinn, on this campaign. And I mean, he's the reason that round is Elation's, right? Everyone from Elation drops. Dello gets a clean wipe of kills, and Rep, the sneaky snake, the shark under the water, able to find that flank and find a couple kills.
That was expert play out of Rep, getting in the spawns and just completely shutting that down. And it does come down to the lives when all is said and done. And now Elation set up for success. You have Rep calling in the death from above as well as Elation. They just want to cement this here and now. Trophy systems will deny the progress, but it's going to be a lot of information early gained for the side of Elation.
Yeah, now Stu just having to play his life here, and Rep always in these thorn in the side positions, seemingly just running around, ring around the rosy, forcing heads to turn and dropping bodies left and right. It's gonna be Elation all pink in the kill feed. Adam Savage 1 kill to at least open up, maybe a lane to get out of your spawn, but there is 37 seconds left on the clock. You have only found 2 kills in this round. Quinn, Elation is looking to send Destro Gaming packing home.
Yeah, Destro, you need to pick up the pace in terms of the kills. Almost down by 10 lives in the early stretch of this is not where you want to be. 23 seconds left on the board as time is stopped. Stu, the only player over towards that A side, so they're trying to regroup, trying to reshuffle their way on over, but the stuns are out, the guns are out as well, and the propane tanks are inevitable. Those blow up, by the way, Stu. You're not going to be able to stay alive when you're on high-rise control. Elation have them right where they want them. The snakes are in, and they are absolutely puncturing every wound from Destro. No sights to be seen here, but the last vestige might be over towards that B side, Matt.
Yeah, they get onto it with 5.2 seconds left, but it's only a single player here. You now try to get the information overload going, but now you find you have to hop on this A site. They know exactly where you are. Cruise missile raining down hell from above. 2.7 seconds left on the clock. 21 playing 7. This is absolutely dire needs for a kill here for Destro Gaming, and it is only pink in the kill feed. Elation 3-0 in the series, 3-1 in the control continues that losers bracket run here on Championship Sunday. Destro Gaming sent home packing.
Oh my goodness, Elation, they woke up feeling dangerous, Matt. My goodness, what a way to open things up on day 2 on Championship Sunday, keeping the hopes alive in your losers' quarters and sending Destro home as well. Again, folks at home, this is a very, very formidable team that they just took down, sent packing.
And I mean, you look at it here, I mean, it just seemed like once that comeback and once Elation found that footing in that map 1, the comeback there on 6-star, it just seemed to get in the mentals of Destro Gaming. 6-1, 3-1 from then on out. Elation just looking perfect at every single turn. And now Quinn, as you said, moved themselves on in the losers bracket. And you talk about a formidable foe. I mean, this was 2 star-studded rosters that we were looking at coming into this one. I think you you and I both expected this maybe to go a little bit deeper, at least to see that map 4 hardpoint on Rio. But nonetheless, it will be Elation that secures that loser semifinals, awaits the winner of SGP and the Speedy White Men. And now as well in that winners finals, Omit Brooklyn and Unreal Nightmare kind of waiting for the bracket to fill out. But I mean, we are slicing teams left and right here on Championship Sunday.
Oh, Matt, we are coming down to the absolute wire, and this is where things start to get very, very interesting. Of course, keep you guys honest at home, keep you updated on how SGP versus Speedy White Men comes out, but that team is going to be facing Elation in the losers' quarters, and we still, of course, as you mentioned, have Omit Brooklyn versus Unreal Nightmare in that upper bracket. A very, very interesting story that we will be following, I do believe, after this map, but I do believe we do have a interview with Yin from the side of Elation. And if we have him on, let's go. How are you feeling, man? 3-0 to keep your hopes alive and send. You like that one?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'll give you props for that one.
I mean, Ian, we got to be honest with you, dude. You've been going absolutely nuts throughout this LAN. I mean, a main slayer, always in the kill feed, seemingly always able to find picks. I mean, the chat was even upset that they didn't get to see you in the interview in the last series, finally giving the fans what they want. Brother, just tell me how you're feeling right now. You're shooting beams.
Listen, first of all, Rep deserved to come in for an interview the last one. He's our route man. He hops the hill. He gets the kills. He does it all, man. And we all do it. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. He deserved the last interview.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in the last interview, speaking with it, I mean, Rep kind of mentioned that Kex, being that IGL player, he said that you were being really kind of undershadowed by a lot of people. This team, it just seems like you guys are finding the stride at the right time.
We talked about it after we played SGP. We were like, we need to small talk a little bit more, and I mean, it's all coming together, and we're playing great.
I mean, you guys are going to be either taking on SGP or the Speedy White Men up next. Talk to me a little bit about what those matchups bring to you guys in terms of how the confidence is feeling, and obviously coming off of a 3-0 entering that. What is the next step there?
The first game that we played SGP, it was just first game cheese, man. It was first series of the event, got the jitters out. I mean, like I said, we come together. I think we're ready for them.
I mean, a top 4 placement secured off of that. Great, great work out of you guys. Want to go back a little bit. Matt was very briefly talking about how you guys gel as a team, but one of the things that we were observing a lot is you and Kex in those 2v3s, 2v4 scenarios, especially on the S&D. Talk to me a little bit about that duo that we see developing.
Kex is my guy. I think we play great together. I mean, we communicate well, especially like you just said in the S&D. I mean, we're working together. We're hitting trades together, and I don't know. I think you'll see more of it.
Definitely want to see more of it. You guys are absolutely frying out there. Great work. We hope to see you very, very soon, Yin.
Good to hear.
All right. Well, we still have a lot of great Call of Duty. I mean, we still have 4 teams, technically 5, but when we come back from the break, probably 4 teams in the mix of this for that 3.5 grand prize pool. Only 12 teams enter the bracket play. 1 will stand when all is said and done, Matt.
Hey, look, Elation, you know, we talk about it, you know, when we get some of these interviews, many few words seem to be the guys who get a lot of kills. So I don't know. Well, maybe if it's a correlation, we'll see more of it. But I think Elation right now, all to play for still, as you said, they want that rematch against SGP. But they got a tough matchup with the Speedy White Men and Kamwa and his crew. And we always know that Season's going to be pumping up the guys for that one. So we'll have to see what happens in that matchup. And when we come back, it'll be more Call of Duty action here at the Lo6 Major 4 in Columbus, Ohio.